Hello guys, hello everyone, hello Planet Earth, Terry speaking here. In this very brief video, I will be educating you about traditional Sesotho music. Traditional Sesotho music because I happen to have realized that there are people who genuinely would like to know what's going on in traditional Sesotho music. Say they want to introduce themselves to the music. Some already are in the music, but they don't actually know what's going on. They don't actually know the terms and stuff like that. So I'm just going to be doing like the basic and the most important things about famo. Perhaps I'll be doing a video like this in the future and explain a few more things about what is happening in the Sesotho traditional music. So when we start, let's start with the name. Traditional Sesotho music is called famo, and famo comes from the verb hofamola, which is like a facial expression you do when you dance to this music. That's called famo. So like it comes from that because that's what people do when they dance to traditional Sesotho music. So I think like in Africa, that's what we do as Africans. We make that facial expression, like, you know, whatever it is. But that's what famo means. That's where the word fam comes from. It's also known as Minowa Koreana, which simply means it simply means accordion music or music made with the accordion, and is also known as Minowa Manoti, which I will explain a little bit later in this video. But famo has got a very basic setup, you know, like the production of the music. You know, you have an accordion, you have a guitar, it could be a bass guitar or any other guitar, and then you have a drum. It's usually a self-made drum, which I don't know why they still use that kind of a drum, because they could use like a proper djembe drum or conga drum, you know, just to increase the quality of the sound. But what they do, they make a drum with a rubber. They have a rubber and they cut a tin in both sides, and then they make a drum. It doesn't come out that well, as far as I'm concerned, when I listen to the music. I think if they use different drums, it could be better. But that's basically the setup. You have a guy on an accordion, and then you have a guy on a guitar, and then you have a guy on the drums. It could be many of them depending how big the band is, you know what I mean? So that's basically the setup. So famo or Minowa Koreana has two kinds of songs. You have machele, which is a plural of lechele. Lechele is a song where you have a chorus. A song has a chorus and a body, you know, a start and an end, and then there's a chorus for singing along, and then there's a rapping, Sesotho rapping. We pulela or we talk, that's what it's called. You know, when you hear the guy there, you know, rapping and, you know, saying a whole lot of other things, that's we talk, we pulela, and that is what you hear in a lechele song. Typical lechele would have a body, would have a chorus, and then would have somebody rapping it in the same song. So that's the first kind of a song that you have in traditional Sesotho music, famo, Minowa Koreana, as you now know. The second kind of a song is called lishodu, and then you have mashodu, which is a plural of lishodu. Lishodu is a song where you have an instrument from the beginning to the end. Somebody is rapping the instrument. Yeah, like going in with a bass, you know, which is called the fila. So that's what I have to show you. You have an instrument, there's no chorus, there's no song, it's just an instrument, and then somebody goes in hard, you know, rapping on the song from the beginning to the end. That is your kind of, that's a typical lishodu for you there, So I'm gonna show you instruments and rapping from the start to make, so from the beginning to the end, maybe that's how it goes. So okay, so I'll explain a few other terms, and then as I've said, I've used the word defila. Defila, guys, is bass. If you follow hip hop or contemporary urban music, bass is like when you're rapping what we say in the bass. So in famo, that is called defila. They are also measured, by the way, like you would have in hip hop, like the hard, the soft, the what, guys attacking each other, beef and all that. Yeah, in farming you do have the same kind of a thing. You have the feel like they're getting hot, and everyone has their own favorite. My own favorite happens to be Hopolo, Alakin, if you really want to know, like, or introduce yourself to some hard hitting Sesotho bass or the feel, get to know Hopolo from Seahi movement. They got their own, Well, I'm not saying that other guys are bad, but everyone would have their own favorite. It's not only Hopolo, there's Maslanya. Yes, the old ones, well, I can mention it then. Manta, the Chakela, like a lot of them. So, but anyway, as you introduce yourself to famo, you get to know a lot of them. There could be other guys who are much more better than those that I've mentioned, but I haven't heard of. But anyway, there's another term for you here, guys. Manoti. Manoti means manoti is the buttons on the accordion. That's called manoti. So that's a plural of lenoti. One it will also obviously be lenoti. So because it's many, it's what manoti. So sometimes the music is referred to as minoa manoti, which would translate to be music that comes from the buttons of the accordion. That sounds really long, but that's what it means. So if you hear somebody, anyone say, you should know that person is asking for famo, or mino and koreana. So that's what it means. So there are a lot of other terms I could be introducing in this video, but because it's my first on this kind of thing, I just wanted to give you those two terms so that you can, if you happen to be at famo, fuchu, somewhere, or Sesotho event, and then you hear people throwing around these terms so that you are not really left behind, you know what I mean? So, so that